Sisal, with the botanical name Agave sisalana, is a species of agave native to southern Mexico but widely cultivated and naturalized in many other countries. It yields a stiff fiber used in making various products. The term sisal may refer either to the plant's common name or the fiber, depending on the context. It is sometimes referred to as sisal hemp, because for centuries hemp was a major source for fiber, and other fiber sources were named after it. The sisal fiber is traditionally used for rope and twine, and has many other uses, including paper, cloth, wall coverings, carpets, and dartboards. Taxonomy: the native origin of Agave sisalana is uncertain. Traditionally it was deemed to be a native of the Yucatan Peninsula, but there are no records of botanical collections from there. They were originally shipped from the Spanish colonial port of Sisal in Yucatan. The Yucatan plantations now cultivate henequen. H.S. Gentry hypothesized a Chiapas origin, on the strength of traditional local usage. Evidence of an indigenous cottage industry there suggests it as the original habitat location, possibly as a cross of Agave angustifolia and Agave cubensis. The species is now naturalized in other parts of Mexico, as well as in Spain, Libya, Morocco, the Canary Islands, Cape Verde, many parts of Africa, Madagascar, RA Copyright Union, Seychelles, China, the Ryukyu Islands, India, Pakistan, Nepal, Burma, Cambodia, Thailand, the Solomon Islands, Queensland, Polynesia, Micronesia, Fiji, Hawaii, Florida, Central America, Ecuador, and the West Indies. Plant description: Sisal plants, Agave sisalana, consist of a rosette of sword-shaped leaves about 1.5 to 2 meters tall. Young leaves may have a few minute teeth along their margins, but lose them as they mature. The sisal plant has a 7 to 10 year lifespan and typically produces 200 to 250 commercially usable leaves. Each leaf contains an average of around 1,000 fibers. The fibers account for only about 4% of the plant by weight. Sisal is considered a plant of the tropics and subtropics, since production benefits from temperatures above 25 degrees Celsius and sunshine. Cultivation: in the 19th century, sisal cultivation spread to Florida, the Caribbean islands, and Brazil, as well as to countries in Africa, notably Tanzania and Kenya, and Asia. The first commercial plantings in Brazil were made in the late 1930s and the first sisal fiber exports from there were made in 1948. It was not until the 1960s that Brazilian production accelerated and the first of many spinning mills was established. Today Brazil is the major world producer of sisal. There are both positive and negative environmental impacts from sisal growing. Propagation: propagation of sisal is generally by using bulbils produced from buds in the flower stalk or by suckers growing around the base of the plant, which are grown in nursery fields until large enough to be transplanted to their final position. These methods offer no potential for genetic improvement. In vitro multiplication of selected genetic material using meristematic tissue culture offers considerable potential for the development of improved genetic material. Fiber extraction: fiber is extracted by a process known as decortication, where leaves are crushed and beaten by a rotating wheel set with blunt knives, so that only fibers remain. In East Africa, where production is typically on large estates, the leaves are transported to a central decortication plant, where water is used to wash away the waste parts of the leaf. The fiber is then dried, brushed and baled for export. Proper drying is important as fiber quality depends largely on moisture content. Artificial drying has been found to result in generally better grades of fiber than sun drying, but is not feasible in the developing countries where sisal is produced. In the drier climate of northeast Brazil, sisal is mainly grown by smallholders and the fiber is extracted by teams using portable raspadors which do not use water. Fiber is subsequently cleaned by brushing. Dry fibers are machine-combed and sorted into various grades, largely on the basis of the previous in-field separation of leaves into size groups. Environmental impacts: sisal farming initially caused environmental degradation, because sisal plantations replaced native forests, but is still considered less damaging than many types of farming. No chemical fertilizers are used in sisal production, and although herbicides are occasionally used, even this impact may be eliminated, since most weeding is done by hand. The effluent from the decortication process causes serious pollution when it is allowed to flow into water courses. In Tanzania there are plans to use the waste as biofuel. Uses: traditionally, sisal has been the leading material for agricultural twine because of his strength, durability, ability to stretch, affinity for certain dyestuffs, and resistance to deterioration in salt water. The importance of this traditional use is diminishing with competition from polypropylene and the development of other hay-making techniques, while new higher-valued sisal products have been developed. Apart from ropes, twines, and general cordage, sisal is used in low-cost and specialty paper, dartboards, buffing cloth, filters, geotextiles, mattresses, carpets, handicrafts, wire rope cores, and macrame copyright. Sisal has been utilized as an environmentally friendly strengthening agent to replace asbestos and fiberglass in composite materials in various uses including the automobile industry. The lower-grade fiber is processed by the paper industry because of its high content of cellulose and hemicelluloses. The medium-grade fiber is used in the cordage industry for making ropes, baler and binder twine. Ropes and twines are widely employed for marine, agricultural, and general industrial use. The higher-grade fiber after treatment is converted into yarns and used by the carpet industry. Other products developed from sisal fiber include spa products, cat scratching posts, lumber support belts, rugs, slippers, cloths, and disc buffers. Sisal wall covering meets the abrasion and tearing resistant standards of the American Society for Testing and Materials and of the National Fire Protection Association. As extraction of fiber uses only a small percentage of the plant, some attempts to improve economic viability have focused on utilizing the waste material for production of biogas, for stock feed, or the extraction of pharmaceutical materials. Sisal is a valuable forage for honey bees because of its long flowering period. It is particularly attractive to them during pollen shortage. The honey produced is however dark and has a strong and unpleasant flavor. Because sisal is an agave, it can be distilled to make a tequila-like liquor. Carpets: despite the yarn durability sisal is known for, slight matting of sisal carpeting may occur in high-traffic areas. Sisal carpet does not build up static nor does it trap dust, so vacuuming is the only maintenance required. High-spill areas should be treated with a fiber sealer and for spot removal, a dry cleaning powder is recommended. Depending on climatic conditions, sisal will absorb air humidity or release it, causing expansion or contraction. Sisal is not recommended for areas that receive wet spills or rain or snow. Sisal is used by itself in carpets or in blends with wool and acrylic for a softer hand. Global production and trade patterns. Global production of sisal fiber in 2007 amounted to 240,000 tons, of which Brazil, the largest producing country, produced 113,000 tons. Tanzania produced approximately 37,000 tons, Kenya produced 27,600 tons, Venezuela 10,500 tons and 9,000 tons were produced in Madagascar. China contributed 40,000 tons with smaller amounts coming from South Africa, Mozambique, Haiti, and Cuba. Sisal occupies sixth place among fiber plants, representing 2% of the world unregistered trademark S production of plant fibers. As one of the world's important natural fibers, sisal is covered by activities of the International Year of Natural Fibers 2009. Heraldry: the sisal plant appears in the arms of Barquisimeto, Venezuela. The Yucatan state in Mexico features a deer bounding over a sisal plant on its coat of arms. See also, fiber plants, fiber rope, henequen, International Year of Natural Fibers, wire rope, notes. References: G. W. Locke, Sisal Longmans Green and Colorado, 1969. Howard Scott Gentry, Agaves of Continental North America University of Arizona Press, 1982. ppA 628 to 631. External links Data related to Agave sisalana at Wikispecies, the dictionary definition of sisal at Wiktionary, ʻsaɪsəl hemp. Encyclopædia Britannica 1911a, a hemp, sisal. New International Encyclopedia 1905a.